What's up YouTube, it's your boy Mike here from People's Choice Gaming, and today I got a breakdown for you of the new Paladin Warframe Oberon, or Oberon. One of those two pronunciations, I believe. I'm going to be showing in the gameplay his first four powers in order: Smite, Hallowed Ground, Renewal, and Reckoning. Smite is the one where energy came out of the body and you've seen all the projectiles. Hallowed Ground is going to be coming up right now, and then Renewal after that, and then Reckoning. I will also jump into a brief guide on how to mod him after that, and give a nice review and honest opinion of what I think of this Warframe. So starting off with Smite, it does half impact, half radiation damage. Wiki's saying around 500 damage. On Corpus though, I see about 1500 damage. Power strength mods and range mods both affect this power, this power. It does 12.5 meters with the range, and Wiki's saying it shoots out 6 projectiles at max rank, but I'm only seeing about 3 to 4. But with a 2 from the top blind rage, I do see about 7 to 8 projectiles. So we do know that power strength increases the amount of projectiles. Basically, you create an energy inside the Warframes, it does damage, and then shoots the energy outwards in projectile form. They bounce around the room, and the drawback is, if it's a big room, you're not going to be hitting other enemies. It needs to be a small room with lots of enemies for those projectiles to hit other enemies. Now, Hallowed Ground is the second power. It basically makes a a rectangle, I guess you could say, that has fire inside it, and if the enemy's standing inside it, it does 125 fire damage per second, and power strength and power duration both affect this power. Now, Renewal is his third power. I was just showing it there, and it only works if you've had health loss. And basically it heals for 200 damage or 200 health over 10 seconds or 20 health each second. Power strength and power duration both affect this power, and while active you can resurrect, meaning if you cast this and then you die and it's still active, you can resurrect and then you won't die. I've only seen this happen once though, and it was only when one enemy was shooting me. Whenever more than one enemy was shooting me, every time I didn't have to be taking a ton of damage, but whenever there was more than like one enemy shooting me and I had Renewal still active, I still died right away. So the power sounds cool, but doesn't seem to be too effective. Now his last power is called Reckoning, which is his ulti. It does 1250 damage, or about 3500 to 4200 damage I've seen on Corpus. Half of its radiation, half of its impact for damage type, just like Smite. Power strength mods and power range mods both affect this power, and on death of enemies, they have a 50% chance to spawn health orbs. Basically, you levitate the enemies up in the air like Mag's Crush, and then instead of crushing them in the air, you slam them down on the ground with a crazy impact, and it's a pretty cool looking power. Now, his Smite, Hallowed Ground, and Reckoning are very weak powers, unfortunately. They only do substantial damage against Corpus because of the damage types which are good against Corpus. So this Warframe doesn't have a lot of variety to him. He's heavily driven towards Corpus, which we've seen a lot of that recently with a lot of the changes and different weapons coming out. So let's go ahead and before we jump into how to best mod this Warframe, let me give you my opinion of him. So guys, before I jump into a brief guide on how to mod this Warframe, I will give you my brief opinion of this Warframe, because everybody always wants to know that from me, because I always give you the straightforward truth. I don't sugarcoat it, you know, hoping I don't make anybody mad or anything. I always tell you exactly how the Warframe plays and how good he is. And what I'm going to tell you is, he's a very average Warframe. He's not a bad Warframe, but I expected way more, considering how many they've put out and what they need to live up to. As far as a Paladin, I never would have guessed this was a Paladin Warframe if you didn't tell me. His powers are all very lackluster. They do very low damage. He has no variety. He's really only good against Corpus. And as far as a Paladin goes, they could have made this Warframe so freaking unique. Paladins are so cool in so many games, yet when I look at this Warframe, I see a typical Warframe caster that does energy type powers that don't seem like a Paladin at all. So he could have had a lot more work done to him, and I feel like he was yet the third rushed Warframe, just like Necros and Valkyr, not really setting the bar that high at all. That's my honest opinion of him. Let's go ahead and jump into the guide on how to mod him. Alright guys, first build I want to talk about is a great all-around build, and considering this Warframe is fairly average and not the greatest for advanced type of gameplay, this build is really nice, especially if you want to use all his powers. Every mod is fully ranked but redirection, which is 2 from the top. You can put a full one in if you have a fully ranked one. We got Rifle Amp for the ore, giving us the most points. We have every power mod in here. We got Streamline and Flow to help out with his lower energy and helping out with his energy cost. We have Rush as a utility, and you could put whatever you want in here. I like Rush because he's a little slower. Redirection for defense. Focus in the V polarity he comes with, just overall giving you more damage for them higher level enemies for Smite and Reckoning, and adding more projectiles to Smite. And continuity, adding more time, you get health with renewal, and adding more duration of his Hallowground fire AoE power. And for the build that I like most at the moment, I like to go with a corrupted build where I use blind rage instead of focus, and I do roughly 7,500 plus damage with Reckoning on Corpus, and I do 3,500 plus damage on Corpus with Smite. And then you got to have fleeting expertise in to counter the efficiency loss of blind rage, and you got to leave continuity in to counter the duration loss that you get with fleeting expertise. Last, you could put in either vitality, 3 ranks to increase his health, and considering he starts off with a good amount of health, all his other stats are average, but his health is pretty high. Vitality will go a long way. Plus, a lot of enemies just do health damage now, so Vitality is more useful than it used to be. So you can use Vitality, or, considering he has a decent amount of health, if you don't find yourself needing Vitality, you can use Fast Deflection and help out with his shields recharging faster. Some of you are going to like that better. It's all going to be up to personal preference and situation depending on what you're doing. And that is basically what I would recommend. But overall, this is the more advanced build I like to use, and this is the more all-around build I like to use. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned. I got all the new weapons and the Warframe level 30 within a few hours last night from when the patch came out. And when I get off work tonight, I will be putting the other videos out for all the other weapons. So I'll catch you guys later. Hope you enjoyed.